Hi, everyone. Thank you for listening. Today, we shall be looking at the PSTART interview question and answer method for non-technical behavioral interview questions. This is the interview guide for students and mentees. These are behavioral PSTART stories that make a cybersecurity candidate sound calm, mature, trusted, and hire ready, even before the technical question start. The PSTART interview question and answer method. The P stands for perspective. Why? The S stands for the situation. The T stands for the task. The A stands for the action. The R stands for the result. And the T stands for takeaway. Why this is important is because in the AI era, structure is no longer your advantage, but your perspective and your takeaway are your main advantages. The P, perspective, means open with your viewpoint on why the scenario mattered and what was at stake. Share the lens you use to assess risk, priorities, or opportunities. This frames your judgment before the story unfolds. The S is the situation which we know from the STAR interview method, where you talk about briefly describe where and when it happened, who was involved. Provide just enough context to make the environment clear. Keep it tight so you don't lose momentum. Keep it brief but clear enough to frame the environment. This helps the interviewer visualize the setting. The T stands for task. State the responsibility you held or the objective you needed to achieve. Clarify your role versus others to show ownership. This defines what success looked like. State your responsibility or what you were expected to achieve. Clarify your role versus the team's role. This shows ownership and accountability. The A stands for action. Detail the steps you personally took to address the task. Focus on skills, tools, decisions, and leadership you applied. This is the core evidence of your capability. Explain the specific steps you personally took. Highlight the tools, the decisions, the collaborations, and the leadership you applied. This is where your capability becomes visible. The R stands for result. Share the memorable outcome or the impact of your actions. Mention improvements, efficiencies, or problem solved. This proves effectiveness. Share the measurable or observable outcome of your actions. Include improvements, impact, or lessons learned. This proves effectiveness and value. And the last one, T, takeaway, means reflect on what you learned from the experience. Show how you now apply that learning in similar situations. Connect the lessons to the role you are interviewing for. We would love to hear from you. Comment if you have been working or not getting hired even after using the STAR method. If this changed how you think, comment, like, and we'll continue with more behavioral and non-technical interview questions. Thank you very much for listening. Have a blessed day.